Where would you invest $1,000? Would you invest in Apple or Tesla? Why? Would you invest in something else? Why? What is the purpose of asking the question, where or how would you invest $1,000? Is it to suggest a specific stock? Is it to get you to think about investing? Does it take into account emergency funds? Does it take into account timing or strategies? I will discuss some of these thoughts in this video. Where or how would you invest $1,000? This is the most common question or statement regarding investing. I am sure the question makes you think of investing in the stock market. What will investing $1,000 in the stock market do for you? The psychology of this subject is amazing. I have a friend who is researching the stock market to determine whether they will invest. I have another friend who bought shares in companies for the first time in July of 2020. She saved money for many years, but I will discuss that in another video. I have another friend who has been investing in the stock market for about 10 years. I can ask all three of these people this question and have a conversation, because it is just that, a conversation. It is an opportunity to learn. There are so many thoughts or opinions out there. The truth is that the question should be, what can $1,000 do for you? In other words, it is ideal for teaching financial education. Let's look at investing $1,000. There are some numbers of past performances over a 10-year period. This sentence informs you why $1,000 for investing provides significantly less value than educating oneself. Why, you ask? That's a very good question. The answer is past tense performance does not guarantee future performance. Past tense performance does not guarantee future performance. Let me take it one step further. Timing can make a significant difference in more ways than one. This is also the subject of another video. A $1,000 investment for 10 years between the years of 2008 and 2019 would be worth approximately $5,000 if invested in Google, $3,400 if invested in Microsoft, $450 if invested in General Electric. You can see that you lost more than half your money in a stock. The approximate compound annual growth rate for Microsoft is about 13%. This is a good return over 10 years. Yes, Google had a higher return, but since the market is constantly changing, it may be possible to choose other dates that for beginning, for ending, such that Microsoft has a higher value. Now, let's look at it in a wishful way. Imagine it taking 10 years for a stock to become a 10-bagger. 10 years to become a 10-bagger. Keep in mind that you try to double your money every 7 years. Double in 7, but we're wishfully thinking 10 years, a 10-bagger. That means in 10 years, your $1,000 becomes $10,000. Yes, this is good money, especially when considering it came from $1,000. If the following 10 years it becomes another 10 bagger, you would have $100,000. And 30 years and another 10 bagger, you'd be a millionaire. Not bad, right? So a single $1,000 investment over 10 years will yield about half the payment of a used car. This is where people like Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett, and Natalia Arcuri help you understand the significance of financial education. Let's go back to the original question and $1,000. This simple question of where would you invest $1,000 is not so easy. First, there is psychology involved. Then, there are emotions involved that can result in a loss of money. First, let's discuss Apple and Tesla. On August 1st, 2020, Apple had a share price of about $425. Tesla was about $1,430. Would you buy either of these with $1,000? Which one? If you were to buy Apple, you would have 2 shares. If you bought Tesla, less than 1 share. Less than 1 share. When your friends ask you if you own Tesla, do you say yes? And when they ask how much, do you say not even a share? Do you think of these things when buying shares? Later in the month of August, both companies announced a split. Apple, a 4-for-1. Tesla, a 5-for-1. Let's assume Apple splits at $500 and Tesla at $1,500. This means Apple is $125 stock. So you can buy 8 shares with that $1,000. It means that Tesla is $300 per share. So you can buy 3 shares. Does this change your decision? Why? Fundamentally, there is no difference. Well, except that you actually are paying more after the split. If you had a crystal ball and could see 10 years into the future, and that you would have a 10 bagger or $10,000, that helps with making the purchase, right? Unfortunately, we know that the stock market is volatile and will result in many ups and downs, such that the $1,000 increase each year is not going to happen. So it takes the full 10 years. This means our emotions can take over. So we can sell the stock before it becomes a 10 bagger. So we ask ourselves, should we invest $1,000? If so, what is the purpose? For retirement? Huh. Why, we ask ourselves. That's years away. I can buy a camera or maybe a diamond ring. I can keep and hold it in my hand for years. I already mentioned emergency money. Financial education is the first step to investing. Yes, you don't really need to be financially educated to invest, but I'll tell you this, it will make life and investing much easier. Without financial education, investing $1,000 in a stock or mutual fund can result in wasting your time and money. You You will learn something, but this should give you an idea towards drawing a conclusion. Rather than ask someone where they would invest it, I always ask, would you buy 10 shares at $100 per share or 5 shares at $200? You'd be surprised at the answer. What would you say? This is the first test, the first question to get an idea of their thoughts, the psychology behind their investing. I mean, why? What's the difference? I then ask if they would buy 20 shares of a stock for $50 that after a year increases to $55 per share, or 10 shares for $100 that would increase to $110. Which would you choose? I'm thinking you said the $50 stock. Do you want to know what's very surprising about this? If I change it to the $100 stock increases to $111 in the same time period, the answer remains the same. Why? Psychology. To summarize my thoughts regarding $1,000, first, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. This includes learning and understanding your wants. While many recommend starting with stocks, consider a mutual fund. Not an index fund, but a mutual fund. Reading books is one of the best investments you can make. A class may help, but definitely talking with people is very beneficial. Then, review what you've learned. The review is different than when you were in school because this is your money and it is much more complicated. Do you remember this? This is not meant to scare you, but to show you that even in a bull market, not all stocks increase equally. The psychology aspects are strong for the beginner investor or the poor person. Poor, referring to people in or around retirement age that do not have much money saved for this period of their lives. I own stock in many companies. However, to the beginner investor or the poor person, I would recommend a mutual fund. Remember, mutual fund, not index. Here you see that you make $1,000 more over a 10-year period. Only $1,000 in a stock, hypothetically speaking. $1,000 today might pay for your rent or mortgage for a month. 10 years from now? What will it be worth? You know inflation is going to eat a lot of that. What will a one-time $1,000 investment do for you? Invest in yourself. If my friend who recently started investing asked me my thoughts on investing $1,000, I would say while you have started investing in stocks, I would put some money in a mutual fund and watch it with your stock investments. This may become your emergency fund in the future. I would also tell her my other friend does not like mutual funds because he prefers to control his money rather than a fund manager controlling the money. With this information, I would tell her the choice is hers and remind her about the previous data. I would tell her I like stocks better and agree with my friend about managing my account. But she has to remember it took us a while to get to where we are. Circumstances could be different. And if she were to tell one of her friends that I recommended buying stock, her friend might think that I'm telling her stocks are a good choice, and this is not the case. Each individual is different. As for my friend who has not yet started investing, I would say to her, have you built your emergency fund? Then take $600 or $700 and invest it in a mutual fund. Yes, it is not all of it. But listen, the other money is used for the financial education. Spend $100 on a yearly mutual fund magazine subscription. Take another $100 or so and invest it in a yearly stock newsletter subscription. Keep the remaining money in your emergency fund account, and in 3 to 6 months, add it to your current investment or buy another mutual fund or stock. To my friend who has been investing for years, I would mention Apple and Tesla are splitting. And we would have a general conversation. We would swap stories, share, maybe even learn something we haven't heard about as we talk. If you or anyone were to recommend that stocks are better than mutual funds, I would inform you or them that this is not always true. And I would remind them that it is often viewed in short term. Is there a big difference between 29% and 30%? The choice is yours. But I will tell you this. A mentor or a good friend can help you significantly. The purpose of this video is to educate you, to bring to your attention the psychology of investing. I will make another video regarding emotions and investing. However, I have shown you enough to make you aware financial education is more than simply putting money in the stock market and calling it investing. I hope you liked it. Give a thumbs up, hit the like button. Until the next time, see you.